So here's a video on framing your pictures for your hero section. So we call the first section of a website something like this, a hero section, because there is a hero. There's something usually dramatic, or there's a strong call to action, or there's a very nice image. So that's a concept of hero section. It's usually the first section of a website, which is the key point of the page. It could be a hero section of one particular page, or particular page, or the whole website, but that's the concept of a hero section. And I'll talk about how to, if you're organizing a photo shoot for yourself, or a subject, how to think about framing the picture so you get what you want, and your designers have more flexibility when it comes to web design. So there's going to be three key takeaways. The first one, and I'll go through it and I'll give you some examples. So leave a lot of space on the sides of the image. So you see here, there's a lot of white space, so we can write something on top of it. Take a lot of pictures with different zoom levels. So this here, we don't see much of the face, but it would have been nice that the designer or the photographer have taken maybe some different pictures with different zoom levels. So something to think about. Take a lot of pictures. The more pictures, the more flexibility we have. And if you have the chance, try different backgrounds. Sometimes we can achieve different effects. Maybe white is great. Maybe you don't have access to a white background. If it's something very busy or very dark, or it can be sometimes challenging. So try as many backgrounds. Think about if you go in, outside, outdoor, where you are, maybe against greeneries, against a wall, against different elements of different colors. The more pictures, then the more flexibility, the more chances we have to come up with a great design. So let me go show you some examples. I'll be as quick as possible, but I'll show you some examples of what not to do. So here's headshot, just the head, and that's it, no space on the side. So very hard for a designer to, if we want to write something around it or on top of it, very hard. It's almost impossible. So do not use just a close-up of a face like this. If that's what you provide, then the few options we have is we can try to Photoshop the background. Here it's a fixed background. It's not too busy. It would be possible. But if it's a random background, then it's sometimes very hard to come up with a nice thing. We could have just a white section here or a colored section, so that's another option. So we do a split layout. But ideally what you want is, in here it's already better. There's some black background here. It's a blurry background. But you see that the person is right in the center, and there's not much space. So if I'll show you, so the full image was exactly like this. So there's a bit of space there that we could maybe write, but then if we, it's very hard to, even with the Photoshop, it's possible, and everything is possible. Photoshop, it would take a long time or some time to clone the forest at the back, so we have more space to write something on it. So if the photographer would have just taken the frame and leave some more of the forest on the side, would have been better. And because of the shoulder, we cannot really crop here. We could, but then we're a bit limited. So if when taking pictures, take more white space on the side, on the top, on the bottom, so we have more flexibility. Here he's got a beard as well. So what we have to remember is that different screen sizes, it will zoom, and then we lose some part. So that's why if we would have more of the torso, then it would have been much easier and more flexible. Here's another great image. So here's an example. The face takes maybe 1/3 of the picture, and then 2/3 is what we call the white space. So it's basically just the background. It's a bit blurry, so we can put some text on it. The D here is on white. So here the contrast is quite good. Here, white on white, not fantastic, but there's a few techniques of putting some shadows, darkening the background, so we can achieve something like this. But it means sometimes darkening the background of the face as well. So it's not bad, but it really depends. If you want a crisp image, then we have to think. And professional photographers could think about different backgrounds and different lightings. And if you're in a studio, there's a lot of techniques. And again, the more pictures that you take, then the more we can come up with text on top of it, easy to read, and it conveys a message. So different techniques. I think whatever you come up with, the more information you have before you take the photo shoot, the more chances that we're gonna be able to give you a great design. But we can always do something as designers. It might not be perfect, even if it would be like this, maybe just a bit better lighting. We can do something. So there's always different techniques, but there's a point where if it's a very short crop like that, we're a bit limited in terms of what we can do. Here's another example of something with a background a bit blurry. Depending on the importance, so see the image here, so it does crop the bottom, but even at a large scale, we can still see some of the elements. We can play with the cropping, even with an image like that. At least we have some. A bit more would be better. So something to think about. Think about what's important here. If he's a painter, then maybe the brush is important, or the paint, or maybe the logo on the bucket. Maybe it's the subject, this is what he's painting. Or if he's specializing in painting ceilings, maybe more of the ceiling is important, the more of the floor. So think about what you want to convey as well, part of your image. Here, a good image here, plain white background here, and we can write something, and it's very bright, and then very strong call to action. It makes contrast very good. Here the image, there's a window. We could have cropped it out if we wanted to, and then it would have looked nice. He's a white shirt on a white background, very neutral. If you would have, a very colorful shirt, then we're a bit limited and we have to Photoshop it. So again, neutral colors is usually a good way, but it could be good with different colors. But if it really depends on the brand and your brand colors as well. So, but neutral usually is good. Here, so again, very nice picture, but there is the subject. Maybe those paintings are part of the importance of the topic here, and then the writing on it. It's not possible to write because we would hide this. Maybe it is possible. Maybe so. Think about the background, if it's important or not. Maybe try different backgrounds. Maybe there's another section in that building where you have a white background or different styles. And then try different zoom levels as well. So here again, so white wall, very good. There's a floor, there's the ground here that can be used. It could have been cropped off as well. Here, we just cropped it off. So that's definitely possible. There's space to put text. We could have a lot of text. We could have 1 or 2 paragraph calls to action as well. Here, if, again, it's all about the subject. If the shoes are not important, then we can crop, but take the image with the shoes and the full body like that, and then us as designer, we can crop it. But if that's a shoe designer and the shoes are part of what's important, then make sure that we can see it, and make sure that we have high resolution images as well, so we can have more flexibility in the design. So hope it helps in preparing for a photo shoot. So again, in summaries, leave a lot of white space, on the left, on the right, and above and under the subject. Take a lot of different pictures. Try different zoom levels. This image, if there's only one image, maybe it limits us. Maybe we want to have just a torso shot as well to have a different aspect. Sometimes we take decision on the spot when we design, and we realize something important or not. So different zoom levels, and try different backgrounds. If you have the chance to, if you're outdoor, indoor, try different backgrounds. Maybe a black, complete dark background would be fantastic. Maybe complete white, maybe gray, maybe in nature, maybe a brick wall, maybe some vegetation, a forest. It could be or a city or a cafe. So try different backgrounds, and then we have more flexibility when it comes to building your pages. If you have any questions on this, please feel free to leave it below. And I will record other sections about colors as well and different topics about website design. So feel free to subscribe to the channel.